Do you have another marker, please? Situations. Instead of places, let's write situations. Situations where it's allowed to break. The prayers. There are certain situations where it's shar'an, it's allowed to break the prayers. And some of these situations it's not only allowed, but it's wajib. So we'll discuss the list. The first is protecting your wealth. If you have a thief about to steal your wallet, your money, your belongings, your stuff, your bag, your backpack, passport, pickpocketing, and so anything that has a significant value. So even for non-significant value things, it's not haram, but it's makruh. It's makruh to break your salat for things of very nominal value. It's obviously bad. Somebody takes away 50 cents, you break the salat for the sake of 50 cents, it's makruh. It's not haram, but it's makruh. As for protecting your wealth, it's allowed to break your salat. So, yeah, shoes is one of those things. Shoes actually have much more benefit, especially in the situation where you are traveling. You will be stuck. I lost my shoes so many times in Hajj. So now, protecting your wealth, if in situations where protecting your wealth is not possible without breaking the salat. If protecting your wealth is possible without breaking, then don't break the salat. For example, you have your wallet here and you are praying. Well, you can bring the wallet here and hold it between the 2 feet. It's fine. It's hidden. You won't see. There are ways. Isn't it right? So don't break the salat. So it depends on the situation. If you can protect your wealth without breaking, don't break the salat. If you are unable to protect your wealth unless you break your salat, then it's allowed to break your salat. Wealth of yours or wealth of any person who's wealth of yours or anyone else whose wealth protection is your responsibility. For example, your children, or you are a person, the child is not even your real child, but you are a guardian. For example, for those children who die without any inheritor, Wali al-Faqih, the Islamic, the conditions fulfilling Mujtahid appoints a Qayyim to take care of that child. If you are the qayyim, in Arabic we call it qayyim. If you are the qayyim appointed by the mujtahid to be the official guardian of the child, then the child is your responsibility. So you have to protect its wealth as well. So like I said, the amount of wealth, if it's if non-significant, amount, then breaking your salat is makruh. So this is the ruling. So this is about wealth. Obviously, you can understand the importance of your life, which includes death, avoiding the death, or avoiding the injury. Both are related to your life. So if you have a threat from someone against your life, someone can kill you, or your somebody can injure you, it's allowed for you to break your salat. Now again, the life of yours, or someone who's is wajib to protect. Life of yours, or the life of somebody whose life is muhtaram, respectable in Islamic Sharia, and it's wajib to be protected. Any believer, mu'min, Muslim, any believer who's dying, so if you can, somebody is drowning in the river, in the lake, you know how to save the life. Don't jump into the lake if you don't know how to save somebody's life. Okay? If you know how to rescue people and you have that sort of skills, swimming skills, that you can yourself come out plus save somebody's life. So, and that somebody is one of those whose life is wajib to be protected in Islam, respectable life. We call it nafsun muhtarama. A respectable life. Anyone who is considered to be a respectable life should be protected. Now, here in this case, you are allowed to break your salat. If you cannot protect his life without breaking, then obviously you have to, which will become wajib to break your salat to save the life. It's not only jaiz, but it's wajib in this case. So this is the example of wajib to break in order to save the life. If you cannot save the life of a person without breaking it, then it will be wajib to break your salat to protect it.
So for number one, if it's not your responsibility to protect the wealth of some other believer.
Yeah. There are people. So it's not your responsibility in that case.
So you shouldn't break your own life.
Third of all, paying back your loan back to the loaner. Someone who loaned you the money, and this guy comes in while you are praying. Now again, if you can pay his money, qarz, back during the salat, don't break the salat. Put your hand in the pocket, take the money out, give him, and he'll leave. Don't break the salat. If you cannot pay him without breaking the salat, then it's allowed to break your salat if time of salat is is remaining. That means even if you break, you can still, after paying, you can still do the prayers in time. If the time of salat is really short, if you break it will become qadha, don't break it. Do the prayers and then pay him back. But if the time is remaining and he comes and you cannot pay him during the salat and the time is remaining, Islam says break your salat, give him on time. Look at the importance of huququn nas, the rights of the people in Islam. You can break your salat to pay off the loan in this case. You should, if it cannot be paid, if the salat time is remaining and the loan cannot be paid without breaking a salat, you should break the salat. If he is demanding that, obviously. Fourth of all, in the case where if masjid is najis, and again time is remaining, that means time of prayers is wide enough, it's remaining, the time prayers will not become qadha, is remaining. If the time is remaining, then it's the next condition is there, if you cannot clean the masjid during the salat. So let me repeat it. If the masjid is najis and you discover after you started the prayers, and the time of salat is still remaining, it will not become qadha, and you cannot clean the masjid during the salat, then it will be wajib to break the salat to clean the masjid. Plus you can't clean, means Islamic process of cleaning, tathir. If you say clean, some of the youth say, no, I took a shower, I cleaned myself. No, this is not cleaning, this is Islamic process of cleaning that we are talking about. So the tathir, the proper Islamic process of cleaning. So if you can't do the tathir and cleaning, the Islamic process of cleaning during the salat. So there are two conditions. The time of prayers is still remaining. It's wide enough. It's not tight. You won't make your prayers qada. The time still remains. Plus, you cannot clean during the salat. If you can clean the masjid during the prayers, fine, do it during the prayers without breaking the salat. If you cannot, and the time is also remaining, in that case, it will be wajib to break. This is also an example of wajib. It's not just allowed, it's wajib to break the salat, to clean the masjid first things first. And then later on you start your prayers again. If the time of prayers is short, that you break, it will become qada. In that case, you will pray first and then make the masjid tahir. But if the time is wide enough, it will not become qada, then you have to break the salat, because you cannot clean the masjid during the salat. If you can clean during the salat, you will not break. But you can. So this is the supposition: you cannot clean the masjid during the salat. In that case, it will be wajib to break the salat, to clean the masjid first and then restart the prayers from the beginning. Is that clear? Najis, there are 11 things which are najis in Islam, and there are 10 mutahhirat, means cleaning agents. 10 cleaning agents and 11 things which are spiritually considered to be unclean. Dog, pig, for example, blood, semen, urine, feces, so dead body. So these are examples of najis things. So any of the najis things, 11. They are in total. They are 11. So these najis things, any of those najis things, you find blood on the wall of the masjid. It was surprising for me to learn that they allow the blood to come inside the ataba, the haram of Abi Abdullah al-Husayn al-Islam. Haram of Imam al-Husayn has similar respect than the masjid.
If you say anything, they get you pieces.
It's not allowed shar'iyan to bring. If my socks are najis, if my clothes are najis, for example, is it allowed for me to enter into the masjid? Ask any mujtahid. It's ihanat and insult of the masjid that I enter into masjid with najis clothes. I can always make the rest of the things najis. I can make the masjid najis. It's not rocket science. Now they are intentionally facilitating the blood to come inside the haram. This is insult of the shrine of Abi Abdullah al-Husayn, which is this place of Karbala is, in our eyes, is superior than the holy Kaaba. And this is how it's intentionally insulted. When you allow the blood to come in, you are insulting the shrine. So this is jahl. This is called adat and taqaleed. So this is the fourth.
Sorry, for the first one, is it wajib to break your salat or just allowed?
Here?
First one.
First one, it's not wajib, it's allowed. It's jaiz to break your salat to protect your money, No. But in the case of this, whose protection is wajib upon you, then it will be wajib on you to break the salat for this case.
Not for your own.
Not for your own.
So for instance, for somebody $10 may be a significant amount, for somebody $1,000 may not be a significant amount.
Yeah, depends on your financial situation, your...
So if my wallet is $1,000 and if I can afford to lose it, I should let it go.
Islam is not saying you should, but it's not wajib on you to break. It's allowed on you for you to break. Well, it depends.
Which situation is preferred by Allah? That's the thing, right?
Well, Allah didn't make it wajib, so I can't say that that breaking a salat is preferred. I won't say that. There are stories and stories and stories on subjects similar to this that we are discussing. There's a story of a woman who always used to pray on the awwalul waqt, the beginning time of prayers, which is a lot sawab in Islam. And so Ayatollah Udma Sayyid Qadi Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say that even if our prayers in the beginning time doesn't have that khushu, still we should pray in the beginning time. There's a lot of emphasis. So we should, we are not masoom, but we should try our best to do that. So basically there is a story of our lady who always used to pray in the beginning time, and once she was praying as usual in the beginning time, and she heard the voice of her neighbor saying that your child fell down, and she did not break the salat. This was her tawakkul on Allah. And after she was done with the salat, she found the child was safe. So it depends on Imam Sajjad alayhi salam was praying and Iblis came in the form of a snake. Why we call him Zainul Abidin? That's the reason in the Tariq. This is the reason. He was praying and Iblis came in the form of a snake and started to hold with the mouth his finger of the feet or toe. Imam Sajjad did not break his salat. It's allowed for us if there's a snake. It's here it is, death or injury, isn't it right? It's allowed. But did he do that? No. So it depends on the level of ma'rifat of the person. Level of the Imam Ali alayhi salam has said, لو يعلم المصلي ما يغشاه من الرحمة لما رفع رأسه من السجود. If the person praying knows how much, what rahmat is surrounding him, he will never raise his head from the sajda. So when we are doing the sajda, what kind of mercy of Allah surrounds us? If we knew that mercy, we would love never to raise our head and continue in the sajda for the rest of our life. So I can't say it's recommended to break your salah. No, I can't say that. Depends on the level of ma'rifat and tawakkul of the person. Allah treats everyone according to level of his ma'rifat. Hadith of Rasulullah narrated by Imam Hussain alayhi salam. He said, I heard my grandfather saying, that al-ma'ruf biqadri al-ma'rifa. The good is in the magnitude of ma'rifat. You do good to the people according to their level of ma'rifat. That means, whatever that person's in-depth recognition and ma'rifat of Allah is, whatever status of in-depth recognition of Allah and ma'rifat he belongs, you give him the good, do good to him according to that level which he deserves. Allah does the same thing. So this is number 4. Where? Number 3. That becomes wajib if the time of salat is remaining and you are unable to pay off the loan during the salat.
And is it also required that the person asks for the loan?
Yeah, that's the whole supposition. That's the case where it is wajib.
If he is willing to wait for you to finish,
then it's okay, no need to break it. The whole supposition is that he wants his money now. So this is number 4. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 is where you forgot the adhan and iqama, and time of salat is remaining. That means if you break the salat, the prayers will not become qada. Time is still remaining. Plus, you did not reach the ruku. You didn't go to the ruku yet. If you went to the ruku, you already went into the rukun, the pillar wajib. Obviously, you cannot break the salat at that time. But if you did not reach the ruku, time is also remaining. Prayers will not become qada. And you forgot to say the adhan and iqama. Not that you intentionally didn't say. If you intentionally didn't say adhan and iqama, you cannot break your salat. If you forgot to say adhan and iqama, that means it was unintentional. Then it's allowed for you to break the salat because the time is also remaining and you did not reach the ruku yet. So much sawab in Islam for saying the adhan that Allah, which is mustahab. Iqama is also mustahab. It has so much sawab that Allah is allowing us to break our wajib prayers for the sake of saying a mustahab, a recommended thing. Yeah, because you yourself ignored the importance. A person who intentionally doesn't say azan and iqama, he's ignoring the importance mentioned by Allah. He's not given the privilege to get that sawab now. So azan and iqama is that important. Dua is accepted. When somebody is saying the azan, do dua towards Allah. That's the time where dua is accepted. One of those times where dua is mustajab and accepted by Allah is when someone is saying the azan. While somebody is saying the azan. Between the adhan and iqama is the second time where dua is accepted.
So even while he's saying
while someone is saying azan, you do your dua towards Allah. Dua is accepted. The vital information of Tawheed and Risalat and Walayat, that's the essence of the whole religion. These three vital informations are mentioned. What else do we want?
I thought while you recite the adhan, you should listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat, plus do your dua as well. You can do that.
And for the najasa part, one more detail. You see the najasa, but you basically say, I will deal with this after the prayer. So you already saw the najasa, but you want to finish your prayer first and then do it.
Then your praise is not batil, but you did a haram.
Oh, it's haram.
You did a haram. Keeping the masjid najis intentionally, knowingly is haram.
But at that point, you're not allowed to break your prayer.
By not cleaning it. You're not doing your wajib of cleaning it, Islamic cleaning and tathir. That's haram. Ignoring a wajib intentionally is haram.
But you're not allowed to break your prayer.
You
noticed it before Salah.
No, you can still break. Why not? No, as soon as you realize to do your wajib, it's good. So this is number 5. Now let's go to number 6. Number 6, and probably the last one is hukm of wali. During your salat, you find the wali issues the hukum and calls you. So it's wajib to break the salat. We are talking about, if so if you remember the story when Prophet called somebody and he was praying, isn't it right? And Prophet repeated, and he still did not come because he continued to pray. And when he was done, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, "Why didn't you come when I was calling you?" And he said, "I was praying." Prophet said, "Who taught you to pray?" Look at how silly some people are. It's Rasulullah who taught us to pray. He has ilmul ghaib. He has the absolute knowledge of the unseeable things, everything he knows. He knows that this guy is praying, but he's still calling. There's something way more important than his prayers for which the Prophet was calling him. Way more important than prayers. There's so many things which are more important than prayers in Islam. Yes, the prayers is the pillar of the religion, but there are so many things which are more important than the prayers. This is what we are discussing. Isn't cleaning the masjid more important than the prayers? Isn't paying back the loan to the rights of the people more important than continuing your prayers? Protecting yourself from injury and death. Saving your wealth. Even $1 is allowed to save. Even $1. So the hukum of the Prophet and Imam and the Wali is less than $1. For the sake of $1, you can break your salat. Isn't it right? If it's insignificant amount, it would be makruh, but it's allowed to pray. Kullu makruhin jaiz. Every makruh is allowed to do. It's not haram, it's makruh. So hukum of wali is superior than if there is a hukum of wali. Me to go see in the i'tikaf, they allow, it was the fatwa of Imam Ridwanullah alayh, even if you are in i'tikaf. We studied the ahkam of i'tikaf here in the class. I don't know how many of you were present in that class, but we did study the ahkam of i'tikaf. I think about 4 years ago. And one of the ahkam of i'tikaf is, so if during the i'tikaf, which is an ibadat done in al-masjidul jami, a masjid where Salatul Jumu'ah has been installed and established at least once with all its conditions met. That kind of place is called Al-Masjidul Jami'. This is where we do the, i'tikaf, and it's a lot of sawab to do i'tikaf in the Masjid of the Holy Kaaba, Al-Masjidul Haram, Masjidul Nabi, Masjid of the Prophet in Medina, Masjidul Kufa of Imam Ali alayhi salam. A lot of sawab to do i'tikaf there. And so basically, if you are doing i'tikaf in the month of Ramadan, which is one of the most important months for doing i'tikaf, and if you're doing the i'tikaf in the month of Ramadan and Yawmul Quds, the day of Quds comes in the middle, Friday comes in at that time, and the fatwa of the Imam was that you can leave the masjid, go and participate in the Yawm al-Quds, and come back to the masjid. So look at that. In i'tikaf, it's not allowed to leave the masjid. You have to stay in the masjid for 3 days. But when it comes for Yawm al-Quds, he clearly gave the fatwa, yes, you can go and participate in Yawm al-Quds and come back to the masjid. That's allowed. So basically, these are the 6 things. وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ سَيِّدِنَا وَنَبِيِّنَا مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ الطَّاهِرِينَ. Any of these 6 things, if somebody